It's time for Around the Ozarks News, brought to you by the Springfield Greene County Park Board, Kitchen Land USA, and Thompson Sales. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Forhetz.
Hey there, good morning to you on a Wednesday that feels like a Tuesday. So we're ahead of the game all week long, I think, with a short week. So let's do some news.
Yeah, this was breaking last night. You might have seen it right before you went to bed. The Missouri Supreme Court said yesterday that the laws that restrict abortions in the state are back on the books. So that means restriction of abortion back on the books, at least for right now. In February, a judge in Jackson County ruled several laws restricting abortion were discriminatory. That allowed the practice to resume. Well, that and Amendment 3 passed. You'll remember that. By Missouri voters. But with this now, the justices say the judge in Jackson County used the wrong legal standard. Now he can reissue another temporary restraining order using a different legal standard if that one works. But for now, the Missouri Supreme Court says that restriction of abortions are back on the books.
Okay.
It's interesting, right? Because of Amendment 3, right? Because that was not that long ago that was voted in by Missouri voters. So,
yep.
Okay, it is official. David Cameron was voted in by Springfield City Council members to be the next Springfield City manager in a 5-4 vote. So actually close. The former Republic City administrator is moving over to the Queen City. Before moving to Republic in 2016, he was the city administrator city manager in Siloam Springs, Arkansas. So his first day on the job here in town will be July 7th.
Okay. We told you that this was likely going to happen because lawmakers didn't get anything done during the regular session. So now a legislative session, special session, is coming up starting June 2nd. Governor Kehoe says money for disaster recovery. There have been a lot of disasters in Missouri here recently. Some major capital improvement funding and the whole issue of stadiums for the Chiefs and the Royals and where they're going to play after 2030. It's a big deal, top of the priority list. The governor is asking lawmakers to support a new Kansas City Royals baseball stadium, major upgrades to Arrowhead Stadium, plus $185 million in funding for things like a new mental health hospital in Kansas City, new livestock show barn at the Missouri State Fair. The state constitution allows for 60 days to complete work on anything in a special session. So start on June 2nd, and the clock will be ticking. Man from Collins could get up to 7 years in prison for crashing into a Springfield police cruiser while an officer was parked alongside of the road, helping another person who had been in a crash. 26-year-old Dakota Brandt, police say, was drunk when he hit the police car at Sunshine and Golden. The officer suffered minor injuries in that crash. A Stratford business owner is in trouble, accused of taking money to do housework projects that were poorly done or maybe not done at all. Jeremy Watson is facing more than a dozen felonies accused of defrauding customers around the Greene County area, many of them senior citizens. His business is called Outdoor Creations and Design, and much of the work was on gazebos, pergolas, things like that, decks, outdoor things. Yeah.
All right, it is a great time to get out to Wilson's Creek National Battlefield on this Friday the 30th. They are having a field trip day for homeschool students from 9 to 1 or between the hours of 9 and 1. You don't have to be out there the whole time. This is kind of cool. They are offering grade level programming, if you will, and showing what it would have looked like in the life of a soldier and civilian, also what the battleground would have looked like. So a good time to get out and visit the battlefield.
Yeah. That's
also
great.
If you go to Springfield Public Springfield Public Pools, not schools.
Close. Very close.
Close. Yeah. You could bring a canned food item and get a discount on admission. So that's fun because it's a way to help feed the hungry in the community and also save yourself some money. So that program is going on right now. And the Springfield Greene County Park Board has been teaming up with Ozarks Food Harvest to do this since 2001.
Oh, that's a good deal.
It's a long time.
Cool. That's what you call a win-win situation.
Yes. There you go.
And then there's this 12-year-old Kunal Patel from Branson is competing in the National Spelling Bee yet again. This kid's something else, making it his second time on the national stage for this contest. Last year, he tied for 46th place, which is that's pretty good out of 250 kids.
Yeah. I mean, because even to get there, he had to win a lot,
Beat everybody.
Yeah.
To get to the National Spelling Bee. So he's going to represent us well. The winner will receive $50,000 and bragging rights for years to come.
Like for life,
Could you spell in school?
Yes. I have always been a good speller, but if I tell you the word that I went out on, you're going to be like, oh, you're a terrible speller. But true story. I've always been a good speller. Praise God for that. But I lost the spelling bee. I think it was in 5th grade. I did win years after that, by the way, but I lost it in 5th grade on the word coyote.
No E at the end, or how did you do that? How'd you mess it up?
It was so foreign to me. I'd never read the word coyote. I'd never seen it spelled. And so I didn't know that it started with a COY. Like that seems like I like phonetics, but that one doesn't fit. Even still, as an adult, I have to like COYOTE. I have to really think about it. Now, of course, I've seen it written a million times, but
it haunts you to this day.
It does actually. It actually does.
Well, did you ask him for different pronunciations? Because coyote would have maybe helped, but it was the first half of that word that messed you up.
The first half, not the last. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Were you a speller? You can spell too, actually.
Yeah, I'm a good speller by nature. It's hard for me to do it out of thin air, though. Like spelling, I have to really think about it to spell out loud. I can spell writing it down, and sometimes.
And they allow that. They allow that. You can write it down.
If I can't spell it in my head, I'll have to write it down or type it. Somehow, the fingers do the magic whenever I'm typing, and I'll be like, how do you spell that? And my fingers will just do it.
That's funny, though. Do you have autocorrect on? Ethan? On
a keyboard?
Yeah.
Well, it'll underline it if it's wrong, but it doesn't just fix it. No.
Okay.
What am I, some kind of animal?
Well, making sure. Because sometimes.
No, I earn my properly spelled words. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm excited for him. It's a big deal. Go Branson, go.
Yeah,
I love that.
Well.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's a lot of pressure. I can't imagine the whole room looking at you. And you got to figure it out. All of the investigating they do, like the origin of the word, where'd it come from, all of that sort of thing, helps them figure out the spelling.
We'll see if our children have to take Latin. We'll see if that helps them, because so many root words, origin of words are Latin. So that should be helpful. Jury's still out.
The root word is a Latin word.
You should be the announcer, babe.
Okay.
You could do that.
You got me announcing lots of stuff.
Well, I actually feel like you should be the voice of the St. Louis Cardinals, but they didn't pick you. So, I mean, you didn't apply.
The U-Man.
You didn't apply. In their defense, you didn't apply. So
the U-Man has been doing that. This dude has been the Cardinals announcer for decades. When I was growing up in St. Louis, he was on KC 95, Smash, and the U-Man on the mornings, and we would listen to him on the way to school. KC 95 is a huge rock station, by the way. It has a storied past. So anyway, Smash, Asher Ben Ruby, Smash, and the U-Man, John Hewlett, were on the radio back then. We used to listen to them, and then the U-Man went over to the Cardinals and became the Busch Stadium announcer. And it's interestingly, John Hewlett's favorite pizza and my favorite pizza are the same: pepperoni, sausage, and mushroom. I remember that from being a kid.
That's funny.
A little piece of trivia.
Yeah,
about
there you go.
The U-Man.
There you go. Just in case you find yourself on Jeopardy, now you know.
That's right. The U-Man up in St. Louis.
All right. Well, have a great day, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. Ethan is in tomorrow.
Yep, it's Wednesday. So
Wednesday, yeah,
that's great.
Short week.
We're moving along.
All right. See ya.
See you tomorrow. Bye.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by Command Family Medicine and Taylor Grubosh Chevrolet. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everybody. You are listening to Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather. Thanks so much for starting off your day here. I sure appreciate you listening. Temperatures are starting off in the mid-50s this morning, and we've got a bit of patchy fog around. So that's kind of the hazard to tell you about on this early Wednesday. The good news in the forecast today is that temperatures return to the mid-70s if you were not a fan of that cooler weather the last few days. Also, we are going to get some dry time in the forecast today, and that is a welcome change. I think most of the daylight hours are dry. So aside from this patchy fog that we are dealing with early this morning, things are looking up for us as we head into the middle of the work week forecast. We've got drier conditions on deck, and that will be the nice change. I'm looking at a high temperature today of 73. So eventually we'll burn off some of this ground fog that we see. I think a partly sunny sky will develop. That's going to happen by mid-morning. It'll take a little time for the patchy fog to get out of here, especially in places that got some of the heavy rain over the weekend or that are a bit more prone to seeing foggy conditions develop. Low-lying spots, you may see visibility drop below a half mile this morning, so use caution. Don't forget the low beams and just to plan a few extra minutes if you're listening this morning and heading out later. As we look at the weather map across the country today, well, what we get is a treat. High pressure settling in for us. It does mean that some rain and storms will return in the forecast as early as tonight, lasting through Thursday. But I think in a large part, this is going to be a pattern flip as we head into the weekend forecast. And I do expect us to remain dry today through at least the daylight hours. Showers and a few thunderstorms are in the forecast then tonight, lasting through Thursday. I think there could be some thunder and lightning, as well as some locally heavy rain on Thursday. And then I even hold on to a spotty chance for some showers and thunderstorms on Friday and Saturday as well. So we're not done with the rain chances yet. I know everyone kind of on high alert after that Memorial Day weekend flooding that we saw. Water levels around the Ozarks are up. So anyone planning for camping, boating, floating, anything like that, just make sure you check the river gauges, the water levels, and be aware that more rain is in the forecast. A pattern shift is then expected over the weekend, late this weekend, lasting through early next week, and warmer weather is set to move into the region. This will take our high temperatures back into the 80s, and today it's an improvement on what we had around yesterday. Conditions today, I think we could see some peaks of sunshine from time to time. Generally, we'll see high temperatures warm to the mid-70s. There is a chance for showers and thunderstorms on Thursday during the daylight hours, so that may limit temperatures into the upper 60s and low 70s in many spots on Thursday. I don't think the rain is a guarantee, but there's about a 60% chance for some showers and thunderstorms on Thursday. Then I'm expecting a mainly dry day on Friday before an additional chance for some showers and thunderstorms moves in here. That happens again by Saturday of this weekend. So a lot going on across the Ozarks over the next couple of days. Around the country, there's also a lot going on. Very unsettled weather. Heavy rain and severe weather continue for much of the south central United States, southeast and mid-Atlantic. We've also got some early summer heat happening for much of the West. They are going to be reminded that it's pretty much summertime around the country. We've got temperatures that are really going to be heating up and be above average for the western United States. All right, it's time for the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister trivia question for the day. And with all the flooding that we were dealing with over the weekend and still are dealing with across the Ozarks, I thought a flooding question would be appropriate. What is the most flood-prone country in the world? Do you think it's A, Bangladesh, B, India, C, China, or D, Vietnam? This is a tough question because all of these locations are flood prone, but the most flood prone in the world is considered to be A, Bangladesh. It is one of the most flood prone countries in the world because it has this low-lying geography and a dense river system. Makes it particularly vulnerable to both monsoon and river floods. A significant portion of the country is affected by floods every single year, and severe floods can cover vast areas, impacting millions of people at a time. Approximately 70% of Bangladesh's land lies in a floodplain, making it susceptible to rising water levels from rivers from the Bay of Bengal. So now you know. It's A, Bangladesh. Congrats if that was your answer. All right, here's the quiz question that I'll leave you with for tomorrow. We've got some foggy conditions here in the Ozarks, and that's the topic for our quiz question for tomorrow. San Francisco is a city famous for fog. What funny human name did the locals use to reference it? Do you think it's A, Ed, B, Frank, C, Carl, or D, Timothy? You can let me know your guess, or if you're from San Francisco, you've got an advantage. You may know the answer to this one. Thanks so much for listening to Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather. You can find your forecast up to the minute all day long at aroundtheozarks.com. That's also where you can head to answer the brain twister trivia question for the day. Thanks so much to our sponsors, Command Family Medicine and Taylor Grubaugh Chevrolet. Have a great day. We'll chat again early tomorrow.